The All Progressive Congress APC has rated President Bola Tinubu high on performance as he marks his midpoint of his administration. The party made this known at a press conference at its national secretariat in Abuja to commemorate the midterm anniversary. APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Morka, who gave the address, revealed that the Tinubu administration has taken bold policy steps with far-reaching economic and security impacts. According to him, the government has broken away from a culture of inertia and is now steering the country on a road to prosperity.
All of the indications that we have referenced, and there's so many more we can't even reference because of time, are pointing clearly to a near future where we begin to see very remarkable, significant, and sustainable difference. There's no country of the world, none whatsoever, from the east to the west, that have made this transition from the doldrums where the citizens didn't have to endure this kind of momentary, transient, adverse impacts like we are enduring today. Which is why at the APC, we are full of gratitude.
Professor Izielen Agbon is an expert on economic matters and the Chief Executive Officer at Energy Equilibrium. He joins me now from Dallas, Texas, to share his perspective on the economic policies of President Tinubu in the last 2 years. It's good to have you again tonight. Let's begin with your thoughts as to the impact of the president's economic policies, particularly the removal of fuel subsidies and the unification of foreign exchange policies on Nigeria's macroeconomic indicators, such as inflation, GDP growth, and exchange rates over the last 2 years. Do you agree with him that he has done really well?
No. I think that if we go out of just throwing economic terms, which I will do, and look at it not from the perspective of the president or the perspective of his party. If we look at it from the perspective of Nigerian workers, Nigerian farmers, Nigerian students, Nigerian women, and the economy was bad when he came in, and the situation is worse. There is no excuse that can be given that any person who looks at the economic indicators, and I will point out some of them, from the perspective of the masses of Nigerian people, will say that our situation has gotten very, very bad. He said subsidy is gone, but we have seen an increase in the price of petrol. When we increase price of petrol and remove subsidy, like for instance, during the time of Abuja, when he increased price to 11 naira per liter, he first of all put an economic team together and said, what is really the true cost of a liter of petrol? They found out that a liter of petrol was 5 naira 58 cents. So Abuja set up the Petroleum Trust Fund. The saving from the increase in the price of petrol was now put in the Petroleum Trust Fund. Buhari was put as a chairman, and it was used for transportation, development, scholarship, building roads. Everybody saw the impact where the so-called savings from subsidy went. Now, the price of petrol has gone from 218 195 per liter, for instance, in Abuja in May 2023 to 895 per liter today. The so-called savings in subsidy, nobody knows where they have gone. We have not seen them implemented in the repair of roads. We have not seen them for scholarship. So that policy of removing subsidy, of increasing PM's prices, have made food prices to go up. It has made the rent prices to go up, housing prices to go up, health prices to go up, And therefore, the cost of living for the average Nigerian have increased by more than 300%. Meanwhile, wages have not increased at that level. Wages, on the other hand, have in fact decreased. In real wages have decreased. It was around $70 when he came in, when the minimum wage was 330,000 naira, and the exchange rate was about 461. Now the exchange rate is 1520, and the minimum wage is 70,000, which means the real value is about $40.
Okay.
So there have been almost 80% decrease in the real wages of Nigerian workers, while prices have increased by more than 100 to 200%.
All right, you seem to share, some perceptions I've seen spread around on the media from economic analysts say that there is some skepticism as to the praise singing that seemed to be coming along with the second year anniversary. I'm curious though, because I want to hear from your perspective. The former vice president of this country, who has several times attempted to be the president, speaks up on issues like this second anniversary. And something he said that is troubling to him is the scale of borrowing under the government since 2023. He says Nigeria's total public debt stood at approximately 49 trillion naira. And he went on to say in just 2 years, that figure has skyrocketed to 144 trillion. That's 150% increase, with more foreign loans now being requested, which could push the debt to 183 trillion. Talk to us about this. Is he accurate in his submission that Nigeria might be more into debt with this administration in the past 2 years?
Well, you see, when you're operating like that, purely economics, when you're operating in Naira, you have to remember that the exchange rate went from 450 to 1620. So you can't compare apple and oranges. For you to make the comparison, we have to operate in dollars, because this is a government that says we're going to liberalize everything. We're going to take new liberal policies of the IMF. So it was $36 billion, the debts before. In 2023, the debts were like 38 billion. Now they are like 34 billion. So the debts have not, when you are looking at dollar, the debts have not really exploded. It's just because we are translating them to Naira that is now going to almost 3 times what it was before in 2023. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you look at the figure in Naira, it looks like there have been a 300% increase in debt.
I mean, the ordinary Nigerian like myself will be looking at the figures in Naira. And when you look at it at Naira, it increases. Or is it because, is there some politics here in terms of how the figures are presented? That's what I'm asking.
No, I understand. When we look at it, report it in Naira. But if we are going to be fair, for instance, and we are going to compare 2023 May to 2025 May, we need to do it with the same, on the same premise. If we say, for instance, that the GDP per capita in 2023 was $1,578 per capita, that is per person in Nigeria, and it has decreased in 2 years to 806 per capita in dollars, then nobody can say that is not a poor rate. The economic indicator shows that the economy has shrunk. If the economy GDP was formerly 364 billion in 2023, and it is now 188 billion, according to IMF, in dollars, the economy have almost reduced by 50%. It has shrunk. So the government, whether the government may try and rebase it and fudge the number and now tell us it's 400, But when we compare it on the same level as 2023, the economy is poorer. The inflation rate have increased, although the government have tried to rebase it to 2024 rather than 2009. But if we use a base of 2009 for inflation, inflation was 22% when it came in, 23%. It's now like 34, 35%. So when you are going to compare 2023 to 2025, you have to use the same thing. Unemployment was 33% in 2023. It's now about 37%. They changed the unemployment analysis and changed the base. So they now report unemployment of 4% or 5%. But if we are going to compare 2023 to 2025, it's best we put it on a uniform basis. We are dealing in Naira, and when we are looking at the figure, we are using the same basis to compare both of them.
Why there is some disparity? What I'm getting from you is that why there is some disparity, the bottom line is it's not El Dorado yet, and there is some unclear exaggeration as to how far the economy has come.
Yes. What I'm saying is that for the poor man, the economy is poorer. And this thing of saying be patient, there's a light in the tunnel, not for the average Nigerian. Because the fact is that not all policies that were done by the government was a good reform.
I'm afraid we have to leave it there for now. I'm told that's all the time we have. Thank you, as always, for sharing some insight.